I would like to do full face today. Glowy, blushed skin, some kind of an eye look. I'm not entirely sure what yet, but I would ideally like it to be inspired by the parrots in Minecraft. There's few different colors. I'm not sure which one I'll choose yet, but it shall be one of them. And then we'll do a lip to match. So I'm gonna start with the skin. Just because I always start like this, I don't really have a reason. The first thing I do when I start to do my makeup is my skincare. I like to start with vitamin C. This has been a really good one that I have recently discovered. It's from Alia Skin. And this is vitamin C supercharged serum. Even on the days where I don't really wear makeup, I still do this skincare bit. I obviously wash my face before. But yeah, even if I wasn't to wear makeup, I would still do these steps. Then I'm using these Good Molecules eye cream. And this is the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. I definitely didn't say that right. This is really nice and lightweight and absorbs really quickly. Also excuse this disaster of a manicure because I just did not have the time, neither did I want to do it today, so. Then I'm going in with one of my favorite moisturizers ever, and I can't pronounce this brand name, Embryolisse Multifunction Nourishing Moisturizer. My skin is super duper dry, so I need a good hydration, and this one is amazing. I'm just noticing this now. This also says moisturizer, makeup primer, and moisturizing mask. I've just been using you as a regular moisturizer. Technically as a makeup primer, I guess, as well, because I am putting it under my makeup. I woke up with this raging huge pimple on my chin this morning, and it literally is trying to look like I got chin filler. So that's the skin done. I would usually put on SPF as well, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it's like 10 o'clock in the evening when I'm filming this. I was supposed to film this in the morning, but... So in case you haven't watched my last video, we did henna freckles, and this is not the result from the last video. I've done it again since, and it turned out a little bit better. So I'm getting hang of the technique, and yeah, I think they look cute. You're not allowed to disagree. I'm going to go in with the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I like this primer a lot. The only thing I don't like about it is the strong smell. It's like a nice in-between, like a pore filling primer, to where it like smooths the texture on your face, and hydrating primer. It somehow has both. I like it a lot. For foundation, I'm going to go in with the Fresh Face Foundation by Barry M. So this is meant to be what it says, which is fresh face, which means not full coverage, not cakey, very dewy, very lightweight, very light coverage, like your skin but better type of a deal. I really like this actually. I've tried the shade number 2, and I noticed that was a little bit too dark for me in the last video that I filmed with it. So this is shade number 1, so let's see how this is going to go on. Oh my god, I just squeezed a whole lot of it on my pants. And don't get me wrong, I like full coverage, but I feel like right now my skin is quite okay, aside from this business here. And actually, for a very low coverage foundations, I found that I prefer to kind of spread it with my fingers first. As weird and disgusting as that was the first time I've done this. Then take my sponge, which I would usually use for my other foundations, and kind of just go over it to smooth out any streaks or fingerprints that I could have left. So it kind of just gave me like a really nice glow and super light coverage all over my face. It obviously didn't cover this monster right here, but we weren't expecting it to. It kind of just like... Now I would like to spot conceal, specifically this right here. And for that I'm going to take one of my like all-time favorite concealers that I used for years now, and that is the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced. Okay, so that somewhat covered the spot. I'm just gonna turn it into a freckle in the end. If it doesn't get covered, that's what I do with my spots. I just turn them into freckles. Now that that's covered, I'm ready to contour. For contouring, I am grabbing my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick, and this is in the shade Fawn. And this is my favorite one as well. I like to go quite heavy on my nose. I don't know why, but And then I just do my double chin. My favorite contour brush at the moment is the foundation brush by Fenty Beauty, and this is the number 110. Nice and dense and flat, I feel like this is perfect for contour. With your contour, you primarily want to go upwards, like blend upwards, not really downwards, just because you want to lift your face upwards and not really drag it down. Obviously, you don't want to leave like a harsh line down here, so blend that stuff out. The reason why I'm kind of blending this all over and why this just looks weird and dark now is because I like to go in with a light concealer afterwards to highlight, and I'm kind of gonna define certain features of my face again, so everything's gonna kind of blend together afterwards. Do not worry. So as I mentioned previously, I'm going to grab a lighter concealer now, and I'm grabbing the Fenty Beauty, and this is the shade 1110. And I like to go in here, very little on my nose, more on the chin. I also like to go in on the sides of my nose to kind of define that contour. Yeah, that looks right. This concealer blends super easy. It's not the most full coverage formula, but sometimes you don't want the inner concealer. Especially I spot conceal before I actually start contouring and highlighting and actually put on this much concealer, you know? So technically, I don't really have much to cover anymore at that point. So I don't mind that this is not that full coverage. Technically, I'm using it as a highlighter, not really a concealer. I like to soften the contour a little bit with the leftover product on my sponge. Okay, I think that looks good to me. It is blush time. I'm gonna use this guy right here, and this is the Fresh Face Cheek and Lip Tint. This is a liquid blush in a shade Blackberry. Might seem quite scary because it's really bright and for my skin tone quite dark, but I don't know, I like that over blushed face these days. What I prefer to do with liquid blushes, unless they're like a really light or similar color to my skin tone, I put them on the back of my hand like this, and I kind of just do this business to where I just pick up a very tiny bit on the brush, and it's also very consistent through the brush, so I'm not gonna now jam it on my face and there's gonna be like a dot of a very dark, very bright blush. And look how very nicely this is going on. I love this color so much, and I like to apply much more of it usually than I'm applying now. Also with liquid blush, I prefer this kind of like a stippling motion. I think that's what it's called, like a dabbing motion, rather than going in with my fingers or kind of just like start swiping that stuff around, because Jesus Christ, like isn't that gonna just like swipe all of what we just laid down around with it? Like I don't really want to move my contour and highlighter or whatever. I kind of just want to apply the blush here and that's it. I'm applying it really high up, almost on my temples, just because I feel like that again gives you that kind of a lifted look, lifted effect. The inner e-girl in me likes to go over my nose. Gorgeous. For powder today, I want to go with my old favorite, and that is the KVD Beauty Translucent Setting Powder. This is loose and it comes in this huge package. I'm not sure if you can buy a mini. I think you might be able to. This powder is super finely milled and it also isn't fully matte, so it kind of has that like skin-like finish. It's not luminous, but it's not fully matte and flat either. Make sure all of your creases under your eyes are blended in case your concealer creased. And then I'm just gonna pick up the powder like this, and I'm going to press that. And I also like to run this on the sides of my nose. What I like about this powder as well is that it very rarely, like you would have to apply a lot of this for it to go cakey. At least it never happened to me I just like to kind of press this wherever my foundation tends to sink into any lines or whatever, or not last as long, or area that I would touch a lot, which I don't usually touch my face a lot, but for example, if you are wearing glasses, you would want to powder obviously where the glasses are gonna go. And I usually just go ahead and does the thing off straight away. And now I'm gonna make a freckle out of this just because I want to. Then I take my sponge and I kind of just very lightly go over that. By the way, this is the Lottie London Freckle Tint. Shade Light. I don't know if there's multiple shades. And you can kind of just add freckles wherever you want. 1 or million, it's up to you. Don't leave this on for too long before you go in with the sponge. This will dry down and it will stay that dark. Just doing really random placement of this. You can kind of cheat a little bit of a nose contour with your freckle placement. So I like to kind of go in around the tip of my nose, but not necessarily on the tip itself. I don't want to say tip so many times. Yeah, I think I like that. I go in with highlighter and setting spray after I'm finished with my eyes and lips. Okay, so I guess it's time to decide on what eye look are we actually doing. Okay, so I think I decided on what Minecraft parrot are we gonna get inspired by. It's gonna be this one. First I wanted to do IKEA bird. I mean, it's a pretty bird, but I'm kind of not getting on with the colors. I don't feel like having those colors on my eyes right now, so we're gonna go in with this one. And I think I'm going to make it simple for myself, and we're gonna do a royal blue eyeliner with like since it has yellow cheeks, we're gonna do some kind of a yellow accent, very minimal in that blue. So let me just grab the stuff I need and I'll be right back. So I'm going to use these wet liners by Glisten Cosmetics, and these are water activated eyeliners. So I've been using water activated eyeliners a lot lately, especially on my Instagram, and some of you have been asking me about them. So these are some of my favorite brands, Glisten Cosmetics being one of them. They have a huge color range to choose from. Great price, I think they're like $6.50 each for this pot. And this will last you a long. You really need a really tiny bit in order to like draw on a fully saturated eyeliner. Another great brand is Sheen Cosmetics. Again, great color range to choose from. I think they actually have UV ones as well. Anastasia Beverly Hills now offers water activated eyeliners as well. All of those are UV too, but they only have few colors. They only have 6 colors that you can obviously mix together and stuff, but so this royal blue shade is called Sapphire, and this yellow one that I'm gonna use is Bananas. Okay, so I like to put down little something on my eyelids before I actually go in with anything else. That's only because my eyes are actually really veiny. You can like see the discoloration on my eyelids, and I don't really like that. If you don't mind that, that's up to you. You can just powder a little bit and go in with your eyeliner, but I would like to put in something to cover that. And in this case, I don't really mind going in with a concealer. We're not necessarily doing eyeshadow. We're just gonna be doing eyeliner, so I just really want to cover that. So the only reason why I'm powdering on top of my eyes before I go in with the color is because I'm not actually using eyeshadow. I'm only doing eyeliner, and I'm doing water activated eyeliner, which is obviously going to be wet, so I don't necessarily want the wet eyeshadow base or concealer to be kind of, you know, bleeding into the eyeliner or the opposite way. So you just want to make sure that this area's dry before you go in with any liquid eyeliner, really. So I'm just putting a little bit of water into the cap, and I'm gonna grab this very tiny brush, and this is the number 2 from Glisten Cosmetics as well. Using the brush, I'm going to kind of transfer enough water into the eyeliner pot, just so it looks something like this. Gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to do. As I mentioned before, I can't see very well, and doing an eyeliner on camera without the mirror literally being like this. I'm one of those people that like rests their face, rests their hand on their face, just so I can like stabilize it for... Just obviously make sure before you look up or do any like eye movements that the eyeliner is actually dry, because this will transfer. I have a scar on this eye from when I was little and I was swimming in a swimming pool with my eyes closed, and I obviously swam full speed into the side of the swimming pool, and yeah, my eye has never been the same. This happened in Turkey, and they actually weren't sure whether they should like stitch it or not, and I just remember my grandma telling them, please don't stitch it, please don't stitch it, she's going to break your office. I was screaming when this happened. I was really young, I don't know how old I was, I would be like 10 or something. I was screaming, bleeding out of my eyeball. And yeah, they didn't stitch it in the end, and now I have this lovely, jubbly scar. Such a great place to have a scar, your crease. You know, like, as if I couldn't have even more asymmetry on my face, like I have to just... Now, one thing I'm going to say with these water-activated eyeliners, make sure you don't apply too much of it. Like, if I was to go over this, like, another time or another 2 times, it can become quite thick and cakey and they will start to crack. That is the only downside I feel like to these eyeliners, is when you apply too much, they will crack. I actually think I want to turn this into a graphic liner. The one that goes like that. Or... Yes, yes I do, yes, yes! Why am I hesitating? More is more. More. I don't know where I'm going with this. Now I feel like I want the bottom one a little bit longer. This was a mission. This is not my best work. Okay, now it's time to add the yellow. So this one has never been used. This is kind of the print on it. I put a tiny bit of water in that cap as well, and I clean this brush off. I'm going to use the same one as before. So you again want to get enough water in there and really coat the brush. I almost feel like I want to connect these, but with the yellow. Like that. And now I'm just going to take the brush, but only with a little bit of water in it. Just like the tiniest bit of water. And I'm kind of going to go back and forth. I want to blend them together. I'm picking up more yellow on the brush. It's good to have a flat concealer brush with a little bit of concealer on the back of your hand on hand, just in case something goes sideways somewhere. I think it's time to leave it alone. So this is the finished eyeliner. I like it. I'm gonna put on some mascara, we're gonna put on some lashes, and then we're gonna do lips. I'm going to use the KVD Beauty Dramatic Lashes. They look like this. One of my favorite styles right now. They're super beautiful. And I've also worn them several times already, and they still look good. Damn, lashes really do make everything look better. Okay, I think we're ready for a highlighter. What color highlighter would look nice? I like to color coordinate my blush, my highlighter, my eye looks, and my lips. I kind of did my blush before I decided on the eye look. Usually when I do blue or green, I tend to go more orange yellow with my blush. But since we've already done this, like, pink, I feel like we should do pink. I think I just want to keep the lower part of my face pink. Do orange. Maybe? I'm taking the Anastasia A23 brush, and I believe this is a highlighting brush. And we're just kind of gonna do like a nice little dust on top of these cheeks. This highlighter is extremely glittery. I don't think I mentioned what it is. It's the KVD Metal Crush Extreme Highlighter in Gravitron. And it's like, it looks yellow in the pan, but it's actually quite pink when you put it down. It's a very interesting color. I haven't seen many highlighters, if any actually, that are this color. They're very glittery too, like they're not a subtle natural highlighter by all means, but we're not here to be subtle. Since I feel like this is quite a strong look on the eyes, here's the thing, I've been really into just plain glossy, like clear gloss on the lips lately. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a little bit of lip liner and a clear gloss on top. Sorry to be boring. For lip liner, I'm using Juvia's Place, and this is in a shade Lush. I feel like it matches my lip color really, really well. And I kind of just want to do my Cupid's bow like this. And the bottom lip like this. Now what I'm gonna do is just take, this is a flat concealer brush I was using previously. And I kind of just want to blend this business out. It's like overlined and blurry, and I like it, okay, leave me alone. And then I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Gloss. I've been really liking the formula on this one. It's really thin, but gives you that juicy finish. It also has a peach scent, which I love. Big juicy lips. It's no secret I love a big juicy lip. And now all that's left is just setting spray. A really, really, really good setting spray, a dewy one that I've just discovered, is the Lottie London Dewy Setting Spray. Close your eyeballs. Maybe let's not try to get this on the eyeliner because it is water activated and this is going to be mainly water, so... Okay, let me just do something to my hair so I look somewhat more presentable for the first time in this video. And we'll do a beauty montage. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure if this looks more presentable than it did before, but here we go. So thank you so much for tuning in for today's video to do this Minecraft parrot inspired look with me. Like this video if you would like me to make more content, and comment what would you like me to do in the next videos, or what would you like to see from me. I am very curious to actually hear from you because I have a lot of ideas, but they're not necessarily makeup related. And what would you like to see? I'm not entirely sure. I'm exploring of what I want to do with this YouTube channel, so now would be the time for you to comment and let me know. What would you like to see? I upload YouTube videos every Sunday for now, and meanwhile you can find me on all of my other social media. That is ray.lilith on Instagram and ray_lilith on TikTok and Twitter. I would also like to start streaming soon, so you can find me as ray_lilith on Twitch also. All of that is gonna be in the description. I'll put the links down there, and I'll see you next time, I guess. Bye!